afternoon, everyone. We're down here at the courthouse again. We just got out for a lunch break. We have just a short time to get back up in there. Mainly going over a lot of logistics today in court, motions that have been filed. The government officially arrested today, but not in front of the jurors, but they did arrest. We've got just a few things I want to go over as quick as I can. Try to give you a little insight on what's happening here in court. So we had one witness today that testified by Skype all the way from Michigan, and this is just a proper where he is testifying to see if the judge is going to allow him to testify. So before I get into all that, I want to go back just a moment about the defendants. There's one defendant that was not in court today, and that's Ricky Loveland. His family needs tons of prayers today. He had a nephew that passed away, I think, yesterday. And this, didn't even know, I think, that his nephew was sick and about to die. So he had not been notified of all this. And sometime last night, they actually notified him that his nephew passed away. So him and his family desperately need your prayers and support right now. Ricky Loveland did not come to court. He chose to stay out of court today and this grieving process. He is here at the courthouse. They went ahead and transported him to court anyway. He's just in a holding cell within the courthouse, but he did not attend the court hearings personally. They did put speakers in that room where he can hear the procedures, so he still does not really get a break from all the torture and stuff that's been happening here to him. But he did not attend the court hearing because of this grieving process. So please pray and send any support you can to his family. If we can shower him with letters there in Henderson in jail, he needs postcards and letters and support. This is a very tough time for him. It's getting close to the end of his trial, and he's fighting literally for his own life here in court while he's grieving for his nephew here. So please pray for him and his family. The rest of the defendants were here. Their lawyers were here. The courtroom was pretty much packed out today, more than it had been, I think, for the first part of the trial. We desperately need more people here. There's Eric Parker's uncle showed up today all the way from South Carolina in support of Eric Parker. So we got a few new faces today. People from Carson City, Nevada, people from Oregon that are here, and just people from a few other places that I didn't get all their names. But so we got quite a few support, but we need more support. Andrea Parker needs your support. She has been here constantly through both trials, away from her children, away from her home, fighting for the freedom of her husband and trying to expose the corruption that's going on here. I encourage everyone to send her messages of encouragement. If you can send her postcards and letters too, and Eric letters and stuff. All this is important right now to keep their morals up and keep their spirit positive, because she is really struggling right now, and so is Eric and the rest of these defendants on what's going on in this courtroom. And I cannot give it justice, the corruption that's going on here. We need you to come down here and witness it yourself. As we had heard yesterday, one of the members of the Bundy family that came here did a live stream. Tyson Houston, he was here and he witnessed some of the corruption that's going on here. They are literally refusing these defendants witnesses on their behalf, and they're denying them that right. And one of the biggest things I've noticed here is that we hear throughout the trial is the burden of proof is on the government to prove this. And then the judge makes a statement today and says that the government needs not to prove anything here to have these defendants witnesses. They contradict themselves on all this. They contradict themselves on speedy trial, our right to the Sixth Amendment. They deny these men a bond or pretrial release when we know we have that right in the Constitution. So there's all kinds of violations of the Constitution going on here all along. This is what everyone here that has been complaining about of how all of our constitutional rights are being violated, and we're not getting any of those. Today we head back to one of the witnesses that testified under oath by Skype today. It was Ken Rhodes from Michigan. He made a phone call in and testified under oath by Skype instead of coming here, because they don't know if he's going to be allowed yet or not. So this was not in front of the jurors. The jurors are not allowed to hear any of these testimonies. This is just to see if the judge is going to allow these people to testify. We're going to hear from Dennis Michael Lynch here at 1 o'clock. We're going to find out if the judge allows Dennis Michael Lynch to testify. And if we remember, in the first trial, Dennis Michael Lynch was a witness for the government. And now they're saying that he's not qualified to be brought in, and they don't want his videos and his information in. In the last trial, they brought him in, and the government called him. And that was brought up again in this hearing. So we're going to proper him. He's just going to be via Skype, and we're going to see if the judge allows him. Right now, at this point, we don't know if any witnesses are going to be allowed. The judge has so far denied any of these witnesses, even if they're in the wash, even if they're at the Bundy stand-up, even if they're part of the protest. She says that they, even first-hand witnesses, are not allowed to possibly testify. And we've got a whole list of witnesses that are on the list to testify, but right now we're being denied all that. As I said again at the first part of this live stream, the government did rest today, not in front of the jurors, but they were pretty much forced to stand up and say we rested so we could hear a motion from the defendants, a 29A motion, a motion for acquittal. That motion has been heard this morning. It has been argued, and it appears it's going to be denied like all the other motions that we've heard here so far throughout this case and the last case. Every single motion that bears weight on this case that has credibility is still overlooked and still denied. These defendants have been told over and over again that they don't have a right to self-defense. You don't have a right to even have a weapon when a federal officers or this type of protest is going on. If you have one and you're brandishing it, you are impeding federal officers. And if you do it with multiple people, they're going over and over again. It is part of a conspiracy. Even if you don't know what the conspiracy was about, just because you came and you joined this type of protest, you are joining it, even if you're not doing it willingly and knowingly. So that's a little bit of our updates today. I don't know if there's any questions out there, but we do have witnesses here ready to testify if the judge allows it. The jurors will not be back till tomorrow. So the jurors are let go all day today, while we are discussing and arguing all these motions and decisions on witnesses today. We should have another update later today once we're done. We expect to be out early today. We don't expect a long day. We know we have just a few propers for the witnesses to listen to them and see what they have to what's going to go on here. Is there any questions?
There's been reports of Roger Stone putting out a petition to get these guys released.
That's a good question. So I've been told that there is reports of Roger Stone putting out a petition for Donald Trump. And I've been told it's kind of hard to, maybe it's been blocked by Facebook, so you might have to go to Roger Stone's website or page there. I don't know for sure how to find it. What is it?
Cold Stone.
Cold Stone. Probably .com. People, hopefully they can find that and sign that petition that these men are be pardoned down here. One thing that did get brought up today in the testimony from Ken Rhodes is the prosecutors asked him, did he sign a petition to have Judge Gloria Navarro impeached? He said no. But this is some of the line of questioning we expect to see from the prosecutors for each one of these defendants. They're concerned if you paid money, gave support to any of the Bundys or the defendants, if you visited any of them in jail, if you're making phone calls to any of them, if you, and one question was asked to Ken Rhodes if he has talked to Pete Santilli or visited him in jail.
coldstonetruth.com.
So coldstonetruth.com is where you find that petition to sign for President Trump to pardon these men. And that is very important. We're told that the traffic that gets on there, people that that sign that, is going to be watched very closely to see how many people actually sign it and are wanting this heard. Was there another question there?
Can the judge deny all witnesses?
The judge can deny all witnesses. She says they don't have a right to witnesses or a defense in this case when it's a case against federal officers like this or police officers.
Somebody just said stonecoldtruth.com.
What is that again?
Stonecoldtruth.com.
Stonecoldtruth.com. So we're getting things backwards here. Hopefully we can get it straight and you can find this petition to sign. Was there any more questions out there? So at this time we're probably going to run back up to the courtroom. We are going to try to have you another update in full this evening once we're out of court. Again, like we said, we expect it to be over early today. And
would it seem that the judge is being part of the prosecution?
She definitely is. She's made several statements about being part of the prosecution. She introduced one of the witnesses on the government side as our special agent, Willis, is how she introduced him to the jurors. Instead of saying this is a government witness like she does the defense, she stated this is our special agent, Willis. He's back on the stand at this time, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. And she plays a total bias on all parts here. She even asked questions for the prosecution. She'll do objections for the prosecution before they even do it. And this has been going on the whole time. And literally, 99 out of 100 motions, she will deny the defense any of those motions. We seldom ever get anything in our favor at all. So that's all I have for right now, unless there's another question.
Are they going to appeal to a higher court?
They're definitely going to appeal, but this appeals process, if anybody knows, it's very painful. Joe Robertson's been in prison now for over a year and still hasn't really had an appeal yet heard. It could take up to 2 years for any appeals to be heard. So, and they've already sat in jail for almost 2 years. They get set in jail another 2 years. They're being treated and tried as they're guilty, and they're not being treated as innocents as our Constitution is supposed to be to these men. We're seeing murderers and rapists that have bonds set, but these guys are treated worse than that. And none of these 19 have ever been acquired bond or release at all during this whole trial process. And some of them haven't even had hearings yet. Like Mel Bundy and Dave Bundy, they've been sitting there for months waiting on hearings and stuff, and their trial is still in the future, and we don't know when it's going to be.
Just one more time on the stonecold.com.
Yes, stonecold.com. Sign that petition, please. Go to it and get it signed. It's a petition to Donald Trump to get these men pardoned, and that's what we're hoping for. And again, pray for Ricky Loveland and his family. Pray for this trial. Pray for these men and show your support any way you can. They desperately need it right now. We're in the final days of the court here. We could possibly even get all the closing arguments can be done, and we could be closing with all of that as early as Monday or Tuesday and turning this over to the jurors the way things are looking right now.
Matthew Phillips likes your shirt.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everybody. We prayed before we went into court today. Pray with us every day. Pray with us every morning. We join hands in a circle up in front of the courthouse. What's that?
August 12th.
Oh, and we got another announcement here that August 12th, Camp Liberty here in Nevada. It's over there off of 4th Avenue. And we're going to have a Lysander Spooner University meeting and speech there. It's an event. And we've got lots of speakers coming from all over here, from different parts of Las Vegas and across the country. And we invite everyone that can to come there and join us. I know there will be some live streams of this event. There's some great people over there trying to keep Camp Liberty going, and right here in Las Vegas, and it's a place for people that can come and stay while they're going through this trial and the next trial, and so we appreciate all what they're doing over there. Thanks again, everybody. God bless. Keep praying for us. We're going to rush back up to court. We'll be back right after court's over.
Awesome.
All right, so we're down here at the courthouse today. We have about 16 people inside, so that's good. We've got lots of people inside. Of course, there's no jury today, so the jury can't see our support. We've averaged about 5 to 7 this entire trial. We might have gotten up to 15 when American Warrior Project was in town, when other people were in town. I want to explain what's going on inside today. The government still hasn't rested their case. The judge tried to get the defense to argue their 29A motions. These are the motions that if the government fails to prove a crime, they can drop some of the charges. We all know that they won't drop some of the charges, but there's no way that the defense is going to put their 29A motions out before the government has rested their case, because the government can just come in and enter more evidence so that they don't drop the charges. So we're all going to wait for that till the jury's in the room, but we're starting the mock trial today. This is witnesses are going to proffer inside. We have Ken Rhodes on Skype this morning, and he is going to do his testimony in front of the judge and prosecution so that it's on the record, but the jury will not hear his testimony, as well as mostly every one of the witnesses. This is still extremely important. Thank you, Ken, for doing this. We still need this because in appeals they don't do another trial. In appeals they just look over what happened and what was going on. So proffering in front of these guys is very important. I've got to say, I'm shocked and appalled. I keep telling myself that I've seen it all, and then they throw something else. And so we're sitting here today, and we're just going to continue with this mock trial that they've got going on. Our mock defense is allowed, and so the prosecution has all their witnesses go right before the jury, and now our defense witnesses will go just to the judge and prosecution, be on the record, but the jury will not hear it. Once again, the petition that Roger Stone put together is being blocked on Facebook, so you have to actually go to stonecoldtruth.com to sign the petition. Please go there, sign it. We cannot share it on Facebook. It's being blocked there. A lot of things are being blocked on Facebook. So please bear with us today. I am brought up by the strength of all these witnesses to come in with all the witness intimidation that's been going on, and all of these things have been going on. It's still amazing that these people will come forth and stand and be a part of this. So we're here. We are getting together. This is a different petition, different than the other petition. We have multiple petitions going on. One is to get the judge thrown off of this case. The other one is Roger Stone's petition. Once again, you can find that on stonecoldtruth.com. And that is to pardon all of these guys, because that's pretty much what we need here. I can only imagine what the next trial is going to be like. They're trying to figure this all out. I don't know if this ends in a mistrial, what more could they do that they haven't done this time? I know that there's more that they can do, and I'm sure that they will figure out a way. So once again, please, share this. Give these people strength that are going up there. I appreciate everyone that's coming, and we'll talk to you at the end of the day.